Hi, it's Laura at the Charleston Holistic Center. And today I think I'm going to tell you a little about why it is that I got into the idea of combining science and spirituality. And it's not like I actually got into it. Actually been doing it since I was wee little. Um, I used to take things apart. Like, my mother hated it. If I could get my hands on it, it had a screwdriver, which I kept a secret screwdriver in my room. I would take things apart. And then I put them back together. Um, I remember being 5 and being fascinated with click pens. Just took them apart because, of course, in school you're using a pencil, right? At that age. So I got a hold of pens. I'd take them apart. Fascinated by the fact that different brands had lots of the different pieces in there. The way they put the pieces together was different, and how they looked was different. Just thought that was totally cool. At that same time, I had what my family would classify as imaginary friends. I just called them invisible friends because to me they weren't imaginary. But along about that age, I stopped talking to my family about them. And instead, I started holding class in the afternoon, pretending to have class. The only thing was, my family thought I was talking to my pretend classmates. Not so much. Now, they never talked back to me in English, but they were there. Strangely, I instinctively knew, though, not to tell my Sunday school about my invisible friends. I knew that would get my mouth washed out with soap. Been there, had done that. Age 6? Yeah. I asked about Mrs. God. Ooh, bad plan. Don't do that. Now, sometimes when I take stuff apart, I'd have a little trouble getting it back together. So I'd ask my friends for help. And they would. Crazy, right? It's not like they move stuff. It's just that I would then get an indication of what part would go next and maybe how it would go. I remember being, I think it was 9, 8, I don't know, somewhere in there. We took the wheel off my bicycle apart because we had to do something with, I don't know, I think a spoke, some spokes broke, and I don't remember. All I remember is sitting in the dining room area, um, next to this wood stove, my brother, my father, and I, and we had fixed whatever we were fixing. We were trying to put the spokes back into the rim because we'd taken them all out, and they worked on it and tried to get the pattern down of how that worked, and they gave up. And I was just sitting there, and which spoke to put in where, suddenly I knew what to do. So I did it, and I made the pattern. It was an odd pattern. It was not the standard pattern that the other bicycles we had were. Western psychology might say that I had a picture in my mind, and my subconscious just told me what to do. Maybe, maybe. But I'm a shaman, and I still talk to my power animals. They don't usually talk back in English, and I only particularly do it when I'm journeying. It's not like an everyday here right now sort of thing. That would get really obnoxious. Um, so, but I still do it. And I still want to know all the hows and whys of the universe. I want to know that stuff. Actually, I insist on knowing that stuff. I want to know the best practices that are going to get me to optimal health in the quickest amount of time and increase my longevity, creating a fabulous life. That's what I want to know. I insist on knowing. Like hydroxychloroquine, like fasting, intermittent, 24 to 72 hours, 4 days, exercise, not exercise while you're doing that, eating. When do you eat? What do you eat? For longevity, for ultimate health. Meditation. What type? How? When? How much? What's the benefits of going longer or shorter? Breath work. Which one? Well, what's your required outcome for it? All of these things that I just mentioned have been studied. And we are getting in ever clearer. No, not ever clear. Ever clear never makes anything clearer. So, an ever clearer picture of what it is that actually does promote human health. What makes us have a great life. And that we have evidence that you have to have some sort of spiritual something to have a great life. The evidence is out there. I mentioned a bunch of it yesterday. It's not when did I get into doing this? It's that I've always done it. And I think it's really important. I think that if we want to move forward, this is what we have to do. We have to make sure we're bringing the parts together to make something wonderful. Not leaving stuff out and just going by, oh, I feel like this. And somebody said that they could stick a needle to their neck because they were magnetic. And now that's called you put a whole bunch of lotion on your neck. Either that or you didn't bother to clean really well this morning. Science, fact. Spirituality, fact. Yes, fact. Bring them together. Optimum life. That's what I want for me, and that's what I want for you. Let's do this. Just saying. Thank you, and namaste.